So I wanted to talk about something that I heard someone else talk about here on YouTube. And people think that it's some conspiracy theory. It's not. Um, they said that the CIA had funded the Taliban. And then if you look online, everyone says no, they didn't directly fund the Taliban, they funded the Mujahideen. So, a little bit of backstory on it. The CIA did in fact openly fund the Mujahideen, which were freedom fighters fighting for the sovereignty of the Afghan people against the Soviet invasion. The CIA admits to that. They deny doing anything with the actual Taliban. I know for a fact that's not true. I have personally had my targets. If you have watched my previous videos, you know, yes, I did work in the intelligence community. I had targets that we had captured, and there were people that came in and told us we had to release our high value targets because they were actually their assets. They were responsible for all of the trafficking in and out of my AO, which my AO was responsible for the trafficking in and out of the entire country. They primarily would traffic weapons and cash back in and narcotics out. They also facilitated the movement of Taliban combatants. They were the ones that facilitated new fighters in my AO. They set up little safe houses for them to bed down when they moved in and out of my AO, whether to work in my AO or to go past mine and send them further into different units AO. I don't want to say who I worked for or with. I also don't want to tell you exactly where my AO was. But there are a lot of people that can corroborate what I am saying. And we had to turn loose very prominent members of the Taliban because of three-letter agencies claiming that they were their assets, which means they knew about everything they were doing. They knew about the operations that they were running, and they allowed it to occur because they were getting something out of it. Had my targets been removed, it would have had a substantial impact on my AO. These people were getting protection from these 3-letter agencies to continue running the operations they were running. Well, why do you normally do that? You normally get a small fish so that way they can feed you the big fish. We already knew exactly where this individual's higher-ups were. They were in another country that we were not allowed to operate in, and we could not directly go kick their doors in, or else we would have. Essentially, my target served no real purpose as an asset to any agency unless that agency was involved for, say, monetary reasons. I don't see any reason why they would need to get information from them when, at my level, we had plenty of information on their leaders, and we had collections methods set up to collect information on them to see what they were doing, where they were going, try to get them when they were in an area that we could do something about. I find it strange that you have a high-value target that doesn't really seem to be capable of providing you any information that would be actionable against anyone other than the people under him. It would serve much more of a purpose to eliminate him as a figurehead and disrupt the trafficking network, and there were a couple other individuals involved with that. It would disrupt operations in the area. I will put it that way. It would have disrupted operations in the area. I don't understand why we would possibly have done that if there wasn't an ulterior motive to just my mission of eliminating the bad guys from where we were. So the only way that I could see harboring him, that's what they did, is there was some kind of kickback. There is an incentive to them to do so. Make of that what you will.